Hi, I'm John from Just Whiskey. If you like today's show, please give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe, and make Lemmy proud. And consider becoming a Patreon with the link in the description below. Thanks for the Patreons that I do have that help support this channel. Much appreciated. And as a Patreon, you have access to exclusive Patreon reviews. And I just finished up my 25-day Advent calendar blind for the month of, well, up until Christmas. I'm wearing this Lemmy shirt. A buddy of mine just came back from L.A., Los Angeles, and he visited the Rainbow Bar and Grill, and he came back with my birthday present, my Lemmy tribute shirt. And it's fitting because Lemmy was born December 24th, Christmas Eve, 1945, right at the end of World War II. And unfortunately, he passed away on December 28th of 2015. So 9 years ago. And so it's fitting. Yeah, we're celebrating his birth. We'll leave it at that. I'm a big Motorhead fan. I have every album they've ever done. But anyway, if you like loud, intense rock and roll, then check out Motorhead. All right. Today, we're going to be talking about and reviewing a fairly new release, although, well, for me, it's a new release, from Gordon and Macphail. This is their Speymalt. And what this is independently bottled Macallan and first fill sherry. This is 19 years old. It was distilled in 2005 and bottled in 2024, this year. 19 years old, 56.8% ABV. This is a 700 milliliter bottle. And there were 332 bottles from cask number 22606-303. And I thought it would be fitting to kind of reference and compare it to my first ever review on this channel, a GlenDronach Allardyce 18-year-old. And this particular bottle is, I had the infamous 2019 bottling where supposedly there was 24-year-old juice in it. And then I had the 2020 bottling. And I drank them both down to about halfway. And probably a year ago, I mixed the two bottles together. So it's much darker than this Macallan. But the GlenDronach is 18. It's 46%. We're talking single cask strength over here with this Macallan. Gordon Macphail took liberty and they call it the Speymalt. Macallan is in the Speyside region, but it identifies as a Highland, which it can do. I thought this was going to be a Tyson knockout with this Macallan against this GlenDronach. But I just poured it and I'm like, wow. I've never had a GlenDronach, an older GlenDronach cask strength. But now I'm intrigued. Back to the Gordon Macphail Macallan Speymalt. Single cask, first fill, Oloroso Sherry. Price wise, it is the same or a little bit less than a Macallan 18-year-old at 43%. That's probably been chill filtered. So I've seen many of the reviewers review different casks of a version of this, and it's pretty much unanimous. If you can find one of these bottles, it's going to cost you some money. But if you say, well, it's about the same or cheaper than an official Macallan 18, and you're getting cask strength 19-year-old, some of these, a 17, 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old, the ages vary, but you kind of get my drift, I think, right? All right, so we're just going to review this Macallan Speymalt from Gordon and Macphail. So on the nose right away, it smells delicious. It's got a bit of mustiness to it, molasses puff candy, and picture hot off the grill French toast with grape jelly put over a warm French toast. That's what you're getting on the nose. Wow. I mean, the palate is just an explosion of syrupy candy, grape and molasses and brown sugar. It just coats your tongue, sticks on your tongue. Syrupy, sweet, sticky. Again, everything I described in like a candy form. And then all that, then the oak spice on really comes in strong on the finish with, it's like a wallop of those cinnamon hot candies, the red hot candies, anything like that. That's kind of where it ends. So in the beginning, you're getting the nuttiness and the French toast with the grape jelly and the puff molasses candy and the brown sugar and all that. And then it transitions to that. Then the cinnamon oak spice candy comes flying out at you big time. All right, now compared to the Glendronach 18-year-old, there could be some older juice in this. It's speculated that there is, but I'm just going to. So the Glendronach, the nose has a bit more age to it, even though it's technically 18 years old compared to the 19-year-old Macallan over here. I'm getting more leather, more antique books, a little bit more mustiness in the Glendronach. And the Glendronach on the nose, it's conquered grape skins. Like in the early fall, if you're walking through a conquered grape patch, and that's what you're smelling here. The ABV is noticeably, lighter, so it's unfair to compare them, but it is fair in that it is apples and oranges. But so you are getting a little, it's 46%, a little less viscosity, a little less oomph. But this reminds me of, and you're getting less oak spice. The Glendronach over here. I'll tell you, I've never thought of myself as a sherry bomb kind of guy, but these two offerings are incredible. I'm I'm going to keep an eye out if maybe Gordon Macphail at some point, if I can ever find a Glendronach around this age and a cask strength, I would be very intrigued to buy that. I've reviewed this and talked about this a couple of times over the years in my channel, so you can just go back in the archives. I thought this was going to be a knockout, and it is. Well, it's not a knockout. It's a decision. It's a just whiskey decision. So the Macallan wins, but it's an unfair battle because this Glendronach is 46%. If this was equivalent to this, that would be a true test. If I can ever find a bottle for a reasonable price, then I will do that in the future. Score-wise, take it with a grain of salt. ABV difference. Ignore the Glendronach for a second. Just this Macallan on its own this is so quaffable. You could easily kill this bottle with a bunch of friends. It's dangerously drinkable for sure. So the Gordon Macphail, 19-year-old single cask strength, gets a solid 9 out of 10. The Glendronach, 18-year-old, my score is probably going to be a little bit higher, but I'm using the dram face score now. So solid 8 out of 10. Again, if this was a cask strength, wow. I can only imagine. So I learned something. I don't say I learned a lesson is what I learned. Not to be too judgmental, because I was kind of harsh on the Glendronach when they, same thing with Ralphie, when they kind of rebranded, and for a short time there, they took off the chill filtering and upped their prices. One regret I do have, though, is I bought these bottles back in 2019, 2020. At that time, there was the Glendronach 21-year-old, which had some PX and Oloroso. And at the time, this Glendronach, and I think the 21-year-old was like 230, 240. And I just thought that was bonkers. And I didn't buy it, but I knew I would regret it. And I do regret not picking up that bottle from 2019. That very well might have had some older juice in it as well. But anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed today's review. Give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe, and consider becoming a Patreon. I would really appreciate it. Hats off to you all, and take care, folks, and listen to Motorhead.